give the heading, break-even point under absorption cost and written or not? No. Please copy this slide. All this I already explained. Do the calculation quickly. You worry at any sales, I'll break even. 50,000 profit 0. 30,000 also is what? Profit 0. This profit I did not earn. I just what? Manipulated through my production. Everybody following or not? Anxiety, I am asking you, what is 4 lakhs? You tell and then what is 4 lakhs? Total fixed cost. How I got it? 3 lakhs plus 1 lakh. What is 3 lakhs? What is 3 lakhs? Fixed manufacturing overheads. What is 1 lakh 50? UD, denominator level units. What is 1 lakh 50? UP, units produced. What is 10? What is 6? What is 2? Absorption rate. How I got it? FMOH divided by UD. Respond yes or no? No. Copy the slide quickly. What do you want here? Stop talking. Those not finished copying, raise a hand. Please, fast. Can I proceed? Yes, please. Shh. Finish copying or not? No. Write down notes. Stop talking. Request here. Stop talking. Notes. Point number 1. Derivation of formula. Point number 1. Derivation of formula. Write as I dictate. Don't copy as it is from the slide. Derivation of the formula. Okay. In that write A. Calculation of total cost. Derivation of formula. In that write A. Calculation of total cost. Calculation of total cost. Underline that. You will copy the table first and then the box later. That's the conclusion. Can I say? Now, calculation of total cost. I will dictate. In that write first. Manufacturing CGS. CGS means what? Cost of goods sold. Manufacturing cost of goods sold is equal to manufacturing cost of goods sold is equal to, tell me what is the calculation? VMC. That means what? Variable manufacturing cost, VMC plus FMOH divided by UD. VMC plus FMOH divided by UD. Whole thing into what? US. US means what? Units sold. Whole thing into US. Now, USA. Can I proceed? Now, next. Add variable non-manufacturing cost. I'll put it in the sheet. Is it better to write it? Okay. Add variable non-manufacturing cost. Please. Add variable non-manufacturing cost. What is variable non-manufacturing cost? Units sold into. Please look at the sheet and write units sold into VNMC per unit. VNMC means what? Variable non-manufacturing cost per unit. Unit sold into variable non-manufacturing cost per unit. So, the manufacturing cost of goods sold taken, VNMC taken. Next is what? Add FNMC. F&MC means what? Fixed and non-manufacturing cost. Understand the abbreviation or not? And F&MC, fixed and non-manufacturing cost. Fixed and non-manufacturing cost. And I'm going to calculate under absorption. Why under absorption should be added? Should be added to cost separated from what? Profit. Add FMOH minus. Add FMOH minus. FMOH means what? Fixed manufacturing overheads. Actual budget both are same. Both are same. FMOH minus UP into FMOH by UD. FMOH minus UP into FMOH by UD. FMOH by UD. Just to understand, in bracket write actual overheads. In bracket write what? Actual overheads. Tell me what is this? What do you call as what? Absorbed overheads. Actual overheads, absorbed overheads. Actual more than absorbed. Now it will become what? Under absorption. Add to the cost. Less means becomes over absorption. Reduce from the cost. Okay. Now just put a line fully. I'm going to have the total. Right? Total cost. The total is total cost. This total cost. Everybody, I think, are all following or not? Is the total cost calculation. Point A over. Yes or no? Now, what is the point A dictated here? What is point A? Calculation of total cost. Write down B. Point B. The total cost formula. Point B, right? The total cost formula can be further simplified. The total cost formula can be further simplified as follows. The total cost formula can be further simplified as follows. Can be further simplified as follows. One thing you should know that after doing all this, one should get a good grip over what? Marginal costing versus absorption costing. So the total cost after simply, what I said, total cost formula further simplified as follows. Now write down. Total cost is equal to unit sold into total cost is equal to unit sold into, tell me, I merge the two, VMC plus VNMC gives you what? VC. Unit sold into variable cost plus FMOH divided by UD. Unit sold into variable cost plus FMOH divided by UD plus same thing continuous. What continuous? F&MC. F&MC means what? Fixed and non-manufacturing cost plus F&MC plus next is what? Under absorption or over absorption plus what? FMOH minus plus FMOH minus FMOH by UD into UP plus FMOH minus FMOH by UD into UP. What is FMOH? Tell me if you are awake. What is FMOH? Actual manufacturing overheads. What is this here? Absorb. Difference is called as under absorption or over absorption. Point B as here. C. It can be further simplified. It can be further simplified as follows. It can be further simplified as follows. B is simplified. C is what? Further simplified as follows. It can be further simplified as follows. Total cost is equal to this part same US into unit sold into VC plus FMOH by UD. US into VC plus FMOH by UD. No change. Can I put plus fixed non-manufacturing cost plus fixed manufacturing overheads added gives you what? Total fixed cost plus total fixed cost plus total fixed cost minus plus total fixed cost minus what? FMOH by UD into UP minus FMOH by UD into UP. FMOH by UD into UP. Now point C point C over or not? Now with this we have completed total cost equation. Write down point D. Right, point D. The unit sold can be called as break-even point. Point D, right? The unit sold can be called as break-even point. The unit sold can be called as break-even point only when the unit sold can be called as break-even point only when you can call sales a break-even point only when what? Sales is equal to total cost. The unit sold can be called as break-even point only when sales is equal to total cost. Only when sales is equal to total cost. Continue writing. Units sold into selling price is equal to Can tell me what is unit sold and selling price? Sales. Unit sold and selling price is equal to, just now you wrote the total cost equation not, is equal to unit sold into, next is what? VC plus FMOH by UD. Unit sold into VC plus FMOH by UD. Last step you write now, step number C, plus TFC minus FMOH by UD into UP, plus TFC minus FMOH by UD into UP. Either D, FMOH by UD into UP. Can I put it or not? Now, rearrange. You bring this unit sold right hand side, left hand side. Unit sold into selling price minus, unit sold into selling price minus, please fill in the blanks. Unit sold into selling price minus what? Unit sold into VC plus FMOH by UD. Unit sold into selling price minus, this part I bring to left hand side. Unit sold into VC plus FMOH by UD is equal to, if I rearrange, is equal to right hand side, TFC minus total fixed cost minus FMOH by UD into UP. TFC minus FMOH by UD into UP. Respond, yes or no? Now, unit sold common here or not? Yes, right. Unit sold into SP minus VC, selling price is that minus VC minus FMOH by UD. Unit sold into selling price minus VC minus FMOH by UD is equal to, please tell me, is equal to what? Total fixed cost minus, is equal to total fixed cost minus FMOH by UD into UP. Total fixed cost minus FMOH by UD into UP. Respond, yes or no? No. Unit sold is equal to, writing along with me or not? Now, last step, unit sold is equal to, other we call as what? Break-even point. Unit sold is equal to total fixed cost minus FMOH by UD into UP. Total fixed cost minus FMOH by UD into UP divided by what? Selling price minus variable cost. Selling price minus variable cost minus FMOH by UP. Selling price variable cost minus FMOH by UP. FMOH by UD. Unit sold called as break-even point. Unit sold called as what? Break-even point. BEP. Unit sold called as break-even point. Please, called as break-even point. Everybody respond. Are you following the formula or not? Now, next. Point 1 over. What is point 1 is over? Derivation of formula. Point number 2. Please. Point number 2. For decision making purpose, I am now coming to generality. First sum and second sum both are common. Okay. For decision making purpose, always use. For decision making purpose, always use what break-even point? Marginal costing break-even point. For decision making purpose, always use marginal costing break-even point. Always use marginal costing break-even point. Can I put or not? Next. Point number 2 or 3? 3. When managers' financial rewards are linked to, when managers' financial rewards are linked to division's profit, when managers' financial rewards are linked to division's profit, calculated using, when managers' rewards are linked to division's profit calculated using absorption costing system, linked to division's profit calculated using absorption costing system. Understand that? That's how normally you prepare P&L here. You calculate 5% of profit bonus. You don't calculate the original costing. Always every company prepares only what statement? Absorption costing. You know, when managers' financial rewards are linked to profits calculated using absorption costing system, they would like to know the sales demand to break even. They would like to know the sales demand to break even. and work towards achieving that demand. They will like to know the sales demand to break even and work towards achieving that demand. And work towards achieving that demand. And work towards achieving that demand. Everybody following not? Now, in the first sum, I had fixed a net stock of 10,000. I fixed a stock level. You should not be more than what? 10,000. In the case, be working towards at least selling how many units? 5,33,000 units. You work towards what? Achieving that particular demand. Can I proceed? Now, point number 3 or 4 up? 4. However, if the company is lenient on its stock policy, if the company is lenient on its stock policy, if the company is lenient on its stock policy, lenient, they don't say this should be your stock. Any stock you want, they give it. Okay, if the company is lenient on its stock policy, the absorption costing may be counterproductive. 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 Continue. For example, if the manager feels the demand will be only 50,000 units. If the manager feels the demand will be only 50,000 units, the demand will be only 50,000 units compared to the demand will be only 50,000 units compared to the budget at 1,50,000. Normally a budget or not, the demand will be only 50,000 units compared to the budget at 1,50,000 units. He may still break even. He may still break even by producing more. He may still break even by producing more. He may still break even by producing more. In bracket, how many units? 1,50,000 units. He may still break even by producing more. In bracket, right? 1,50,000 units. Bracket close. Full stop. What happens is by increasing production, the stock is increased. What happens is, by increasing production, the stock is increased. By increasing production, the stock is increased. And by increasing stock, fixed cost recognition is, and by increasing stock, fixed cost recognition is what? Postponed. By increasing stock, fixed cost recognition is postponed. By increasing stock, fixed cost recognition is postponed, and low sales can break even. Fixed cost recognition is postponed, and low sales can even break even. And low sales can even break even, which is not good for the company. Which is not good for the company. Is not good for the company. It is not good for the company. Are you able to understand the problem here or not? Yes or no? Now, next point. Point 6 or 7. Point number 5. To conclude, both for decision making and performance evaluation, to conclude, both for decision making and performance evaluation, it is better to use, both for decision making and performance evaluation, it is better to use what system? Marginal costing system. Both for decision making and performance evaluation, it is better to use marginal costing system. It is better to use marginal costing system. I hope everybody understanding what I am discussing or not now. That is why in standard costing when you do variance analysis, which is better, absorption costing, reconciliation or marginal costing? Marginal costing. That only explains the variances properly. Everybody following or not now? With this, we have completed the discussion on this area called as what? Absorption costing versus marginal costing break-even point. One summary formula, then we can just go to the next issue. Please tell me, don't talk. Absorption costing and marginal costing will give me the same profit when there is no stock. When there is no stock, both will give me the same break-even point. When there is stock, the break-even point differs. Always marginal costing break-even point is total fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Absorption costing break-even point, how to calculate? It depends on the question. What are two types of question here? Stock given, BEP asked. Next question is what? Production given, BEP asked. Yes or no? Now, tell me when stock is given, BEP asked. What are two scenarios here? It may be net closing stock, or it may be net opening stock. Net closing stock, tell me what is the formula for calculating BEP? BEP is equal to total fixed cost minus fixed cost inside net closing stock divided by contribution per unit. Net opening stock, what is the BEP calculation? Total fixed cost minus plus net fixed cost in net opening stock divided by contribution per unit. When the production is given, how to find out BEP? BEP is equal to total fixed cost minus FMOH by UD into UP divided by selling price minus variable cost minus FMOH divided by UD is the calculation of break-even point. Everybody having the clarity or not with this? One concept has been discussed. Can I go to the next stage or not? No. Take question number 10, Institute examination question. Please. We'll do it and then have an introduction to the concept of indifference point in today's class. Can I start or not? Now. Question number 11, I will do it later. I am not leaving question number 11. It is also a break-even point, institute exam problem only. Along specific fixed cost, the problem will be done later. Okay, now, please. Shh. Easy Limited makes two products, E and Z. All units produced are sold. There is no inventory build up. That means simple. You need not ask marginal or absorption. It is only what? Marginal costing. Generally 99% sum is only about what? Marginal costing. Production facilities may be used interchangeably for both the products. Sales units are the limiting factor. The following information is given. Price level, E is that contribution per unit 25 and then 20. Fixed cost, currently it is 46,000. At this price level and contribution, I will be able to sell 3,000 units, 2,000 units of E and Z maximum demand, and what is the total? 5,000. Now, proposed increase, it increases the fixed cost to 47,000 by 47,500. Sales units can go up by another 4,000. Apart from 5,000, I sell what? Another 4,000. By increasing the capacity, by incurring an additional fixed cost, how much rupees? 47,500. This 47,500 is not the total, is what? Increase itself. The current is 46, the new fixed cost is 47,500 more. And the units has been given. For increase in quantity above 4,000 units, that is 5,000 or above 4,000 units, for each product, there will be an increase in variable selling cost for the increased portion only, thereby resulting in the contribution per unit to be following figures. If I want to sell more than 4,000 units up to 5,000 units, E contribution is 20, Z contribution is 15. Above 5,000 up to 6,000, E contribution is 15, Z contribution is 10. Above 6,000, not at all possible. For the present level, find the break-even point with the present product mix. 2. What is the minimum number of incremental units to be sold to recover the additional fixed cost of 47,500 to be incurred? Present product mix need not be maintained. If you are allowed to choose the best product mix for the incremental level while taking the present mix given in the first table above for the present level, what would be the individual product quantities and the corresponding total contributions, the total average contribution per unit and the total profits for the complete production is the question that is being asked. Okay. Now, first of all, question may seem to be small, but read the question carefully to understand the number. Then I'll explain the facts and then go for the solution. Please, I'll give you time to read it. Please try to read it. If this is an exam problem, it is an exam problem. In fact, it comes in examination. You should be able to read and answer the question or not. No new concepts. Please read the question before you start with the solution. Shall I proceed now? We may sometimes misunderstand some of the numbers, so let us clearly understand the numbers given. Then only the answer can be very simply understood. Okay. First of all, I'll ask you a question, you tell me the answer. I want to sell 1000 units of E. What is the contribution? 25. I want to sell 2000 units of E. What is the contribution? 25. I want to sell 3000 units of E. What is the contribution? 25. I want to sell 4000 units of E. What is the contribution? 25. It is still 25. It is still what? 25. Okay. Above 4000 units of E, if I want to what? Sell, then it is how much here? 20 rupees. 4001 to 5000. They given straight away that this 20 is only for the incremental sales. You may wonder, sir, why the contribution has reduced from 25 to what? 20. Two things here. I can increase my demand either by reducing the selling price or increasing the selling expense. Here they are cutting, they are going to increase on what? Selling expense. Since the selling expense has increased, the contribution is going to be what? Decrease. I aggressively do marketing, due to which the contribution can what? Decrease. So when I want to sell more than 4000 units of E, the contribution is 20. I want to sell more than 5000, what is the contribution? 15. For units above 5000, the contribution is going to be how much of base here? 15 per unit. This is the E's contribution for different demand. Yes or no? To put it simply, up to 4000 units, the contribution is 25. Beyond that, up to 5000, 20. Above 5000 is going to be 15. Can I sell 8000 EM? No. The maximum demand for what is only how many units here? 6000. Point number 1. Yes or no? Like that, is it? Don't get irritated. I may be long in explaining, but still for you to understand. 1000 is it? What the contribution? 20. 2000. 20. 3000. 20. 4000. 20. 4000 and above 15. Up to how many units? 5000. Above 5000? 10. It is going to be the above 6000? Not possible. This is the demand and contribution relationship given. Respond is or no. Normally what happens is, here it stops at 3000, but then happens only up to what? 4000. Then missing link, you should know that. Don't think it is 25 for 3000. You read it together. Question 25,000, 25 rupees or what? First to 4000, one should be understanding it. Everybody able to understand the first difference or not? Now, next. Next issue is, When I want to sell more than 5,000 units, how many units are more than 5,000 units? I should incur additional fixed cost in a capacity changes. Respond, yes or no? Now, probably if you invest in a new plant and so on, how much should be spent? 47,500. The new capacity can produce another how many units? 4,000 units. This is the next issue given. Everybody following or not? Now, everything in the data has been explained. Okay, data is my current factory is having a capacity of how many units? 5,000 units. And my present sales mix is what? 3:2. And when I want to go beyond 5,000 units, can I do with the same 46,000 rupees fixed cost? No. The fixed cost what? Increases. It increases by how much? 47,500. You may get the mistake of saying that 1,500 what? Increase. Not so. The proposed increase 47,500. Yes or no? I am going to build a new plan for what? 47,500. In which I can sell another how many units? 4,000. Because you understand that for 5,000 units, 46,000. Now, one more capacity creating another 4,000. It should be entirely what? 47,500. Up to this, are you following or not? Now, let's answer question by question. Very simple only. First is, at present level, find the break-even point. What is break-even point? Sales at rates, the profit is 0. Break-even point, what the formula? Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. It is contribution per unit of E or contribution unit of Z or E and Z. Because I am selling what? Both. Whenever you have a sales mix, it is not contribution, it becomes weighted average contribution. Now, is my contribution 20 or 25? When I sell units, I am selling E and Z, E and Z. Is my contribution 25 or 20? Both. It is what? Average. Can I say 25 by 20 by 2 average 22.5? True or false or false? Why it is false? Because the mix is what? Different. For every 2 E, Z sold, I should sell what? 3A. It should be what average? Weighted average. So when you have product mix, the word break-even point is nothing but what? Fixed cost divided by weighted average contribution per unit. It is in IPCC itself. Respond. Yes or no? So now let us calculate the break-even point for the present level and then answer the next question. Can I or not? Write down first. Part 1. Write down part 1. Part 1. Break-even point for, can you tell me the question number here? 10. Okay. Part 1. Break-even point for present situation. Break-even point for the present situation. No new factory and I'm going to seek out only for what? Existing factory. Break-even point for present situation. At the first range, up to how many units? 5,000. Break-even point for present situation. Okay. Now, write on. When we have multiple products, write down. When we have multiple products, I think first time we are seeing this in the final level, no? When we have multiple products, with a given sales mix, when you have multiple products with a given sales mix, BEP is equal to formula fixed cost by weighted contribution per unit. BEP is equal to fixed cost by weighted contribution per unit. Fixed cost by weighted contribution per unit. This concept we are following not, because the fixed cost should not be recovered by E contribution, nor should be recovered by what? Z contribution be recovered by what? E and Z. In any ratio? No. In what ratio? 3:2. So I should recover through the weighted contribution. Respond, are you following not? So fixed cost by weighted contribution per unit. Okay. Next. Weighted contribution per unit is equal to weighted contribution per unit is equal to, I am writing in the sheet in a very abbreviated manner, you write fully, okay, weighted contribution per unit is equal to, okay, tell me the ratio 3:2, other present mixed ratio is what? 3:2, I can say it is 3/5 into The proportion is 3 out of 5 or not? 3 by 5 into, what is E contribution? 25. I think I need not write any formula. I will understand under 3 by 5 into 25 plus Z. What is the proportion here? 2 by 5 into how much here? 20. Simply, for 3/5 of my sales, I earn a 25 rupees contribution. For 2/5 of my sales, I earn how much contribution? 20 rupees. On an average, I earn a contribution of how much here? 23 per unit. I earn a contribution of 23 per unit. So the weighted contribution is going to be 23 per unit. Respond yes or no. Now, next. Break-even point is equal to, tell me what are fixed costs having? 46,000 divided by 23. Fixed cost by weight contribution by unit or not? Break-even point is equal to 46,000 divided by 23. Tell me the number here. 2,000 units. Break-even point is equal to 2,000 units. Equal to 2,000 units. Answer me. I have to sell how many units? 2,000 units to earn zero profit. 2,000 units of E or 2,000 units of Z or E and Z. Can I say equally 1,000 up? No. In what ratio? 3:2. So just don't stop with 2,000. Branch it into what? 2. What are two branches? E and then what? Z. Two branches E and then Z. Bracket write the ratio 3:2. What is 3 by 5 into 2,000 units gives how much here? 1,200 units of E. And then what is for Z here? 800 units of Z. 8,000 units of Z. Sorry, 800 units of Z. Sorry, 800 units of Z. So this is the break-even point. Can I put or not? That's right. Check. Right. Check. Just to confirm. Write down. Check. Can you start or not? Now, first. Contribution from E. Please don't talk. Write along with me. Contribution from E is equal to how many E's are sold? 1,200 into 25. Number not 1,200 into 25. What is the contribution of E? What amount per? 30,000. Contribution from Z. How many units? 800 units into 20. How much rupees? 16,000. Total contribution is equal to 46,000. Is equal to 46,000. Minus what? Fixed cost. What the fixed cost? 46,000. The profit is 0. The profit is 0. The break-even point is how many units here? 2,000 units. The profit is 0. Can I proceed or not? Now, with this we complete the first part of the question. Present level, how much should I break even? Okay, now, next. See, I am going to incur additional fixed cost of 47,500 rupees. Kadaba. They are asking the question, how many units should I sell in the new capacity? How many should I sell to recover this 47,500 is the next question, where you need not follow 3:2 ratio and all. You can follow any ratio you want. They are giving you what? Liberty to sell in any ratio you want. The present sales mix is maintained, but above that you are allowed to follow what? Any ratio you want. So for this 47,500 for the new capacity, what should be the recovery? Can I read the question or not? Now, see the question. What is the minimum number of incremental units to be sold to recover what? Additional fixed costs of 47,500 to be incurred. Present product mix need not be maintained. Is the issue. Are you following or not? Now, see. What normally we think is that this 3,000 and 2,000 will be sold. Already at 2,000 units I am doing what? Break-even point. Balance 3,000 gives you what? Margin of safety. That gives you some amount. That amount will recover what? The 47,500 will be fully recovering. It's going to fully recover. So I need not sell any incremental unit because it automatically stands what? Recovered. It will be our normal interpretation. But how Institute does is, it is saying to recover this 47,500, I should maintain the current profit. Understand? I should maintain what? Current profit. To recover this 40,500 new units, how many should be sold? Like that, one should do the interpretation. That is, this 3,000, 2,000 taken for granted. That profit I don't want to touch. I don't want to carry that profit what? One level to next level. Should I repeat that? See, ரொம்ப simple. What is the break-even point? 2,000. In the 5,000 is old factory, 2,000 break-even point is or not? Another 3,000 is having an average contribution of 23 rupees. That's 69,000 rupees. Not? That is directly recovering what? 4,500. I can complete the answer saying no need to sell any incremental units. It stands what? Automatically recovered. Matter over. Right or not? That is how one will be understanding the question. But then we need not answer part 2 and part 3. Right or not? Now, from the circumstances, we understand that institute says there's 5,000, 69,000 rupees profit that you don't touch. Let it be like that as it is. From the new plan, how many units? 4,000. From this plan, how much should I want sell to recover what? 47,500 is a question that is being asked. Any question? In that case, if I say same mix 3 should one answer very simple. 47,500 divided by what? That ratio will be giving you the answer. They ask you can follow what? Any mix. The best mix can be followed to break even is the issue. Any no. I will discuss and then go for the solution. Everybody, are you understanding the question or not? So here confusion may be there for a student reading the question, but like this only you should be interpreting the question. Okay, now see. 47,500 should be recovered, yes or no? Okay, understand that. Here 3,000 is there. There's another 1,000 that is left before the contribution changes. Correct? Now. First plant, I can produce only how many units? 3,000. When you open the new plant, from 3,000 to what? 4,000, I can produce another 1,000 units with the same selling expense, not increase expense. I can still do 1,000 units of what? E at a contribution of 25 and not what? 20. Yes or no? In that case, first I'll produce 1,000 units of E. Yes or no? That will recover 25,000 rupees. Yes or no? 47,500, 25,000 rupees gone. Yes or no? Correct? Next come to what? Z. Okay. Z 2,000 is used. How many is used here? 2,000. I have another 2,000 at which I can sell at what? 20 and not at 15. Z up to 2,000, up to 4,000, I can use what? 20 rupees here. The first plan capacity only how much? 2,000. In the new plan, I can sell another what? 2,000 Z at a contribution of 20 and not a contribution of what? 15. Yes or no? At that time, I will be indifferent between E and Z. That is, going for the new E or going for what? Old Z. Both gives you what? 20 rupees contribution. Everybody follow in order? Now, can you go for the break-even point calculation? Now, write down. Next. Calculation of BEP. I think it is part 1 or part 2 or part 2. Okay, I'll just change the heading. Calculation of units sold. Calculation of units sold to recover what fixed cost? Incremental fixed cost. Calculation of units sold to recover incremental fixed cost. To recover incremental fixed cost. Can I start or not? No. What is the incremental fixed cost? 47,500 rupees. Rupees 47,500. I can branch it into 2. First, I'll recover through what? E. And E is giving 25. Z is giving only what? 20. Which is better here? 25 should be given the priority, yes or no? And the 4,000 new units, E is given how many units here? 25. How many units? Why not beyond 1,000? Because beyond 1,000, the 3,000 becomes what? More than 4,000. Contribution drops to what? 20. I just stop only at the 1,000 units. No, 1,000 units. Into how much rupees? 25. What's the amount? 25,000. How much rupees here? 25,000. 47,500, 25,000 gone. Yes or no? Tell me what is the balance? I said it's going to be what? Z. Is how many units? 20,500 rupees has to be recovered. What is the contribution? 20. Z is contribution? 20. Tell me the number of units. How many units? 1,125. 1,125 units. Before you conclude, you should check one thing. Now, 1,125 units, can it be sold for 20 rupees or not? Yes. Because look at the question. The capacity is what? 2000, and it changes only at how many units? 4000. Up to another extra 2000 units, I will be able to sell it to what? 25. Can I sell 1125, 25 or not? Yes, it is possible. So this is going to give me what? A recovery of 47,500. Respond yes or no? So my suggestion is, please sell. That is a new plant. I am opening a new factory, ribbon and all cut. Yes or no? New factory open. What is the capacity of the new factory? 4,000 units. 4,000 units of Z, E and Z. Put together manufacture how many units? 4,000 units. Yes or no? I am opening a new factory where I can produce how many units extra? 4,000 more units apart from the old 5,000. Now, for the new factory, what the extra fixed cost? 47,500. This 4,000 should recover the 47,500 or not? They ask you what is the break-even point. You need not maintain 3:2. You can use your own best mix. In that case, tell me how I can recover the 47,500. First of all, old plant, what is the product here? E is having 3,000 capacity or not? Now, in the new plant, I can manufacture another 1,000 and sell it how much rupees? 25 contribution. I earn 25,000 contribution. So now, in the new plant, isn't old how much? 2,000. In new, another 2,000 can be produced and sold without incurring what? Lesser contribution. I sell 1,125. That means totally, when I sell how much? 2,125 units, 1,125. I'll be breaking even the incremental fixed cost. Ennappa, right or not? Up to this, are you following up? No, right? Alternatively, please. I have another solution also. Alternatively, tell me how much should be recovered? 47,500 should be recovered. Please. First of all, E. Already 3,000 E is over in the old plant. In the new plant, how much E can manufacture extra? 1,000 units. And how much rupees? 25. What amount here? 25,000. I can recover 25,000 by selling 1,000 E. Ennappa, right or not? Now, please. Next. I can sell further E. I can sell what? Further E. How many units? 4,000 to 5,000. How many units is that here? 1,000 units. This 1,000 can be sold how much rupees here? 20 rupees. And once I cross 4,000, it becomes what? 20. What is the amount? 20,000. How much has been recovered? 45,000. What is the balance we recovered from Z here? 2,500. Every Z can be sold how much rupees contribution? 20 rupees. How many units? 125 units. You see 125 units. Both are okay. Both are what? Okay. Tell me, I can sell how many units of E? 2,000 units of V, and how many units of Z? 125 units of Z. Still in what? Same 47,500 contribution to break even. Respond yes or no? No. In this case, instead of 1,125 Z, I just use what? E. Both having same 20 contribution, and then did the calculation. Everybody yes or no? Right on. Next. Both the case we recover. Right on. In both the case we recover 47,500 fixed cost. In both the case we recover 47,500 fixed cost. In both the case, we recover 47,500 fixed cost. 47,500 fixed cost. Stop writing and tell me, when I do like this, is the profit of the company zero? Please. Now, see. Due to the strategy, for example, take part 2 strategy, I sell 1,000 units of E and then what? 1,125 units of what? Is that due to the strategy, my profit is zero, not zero? I have a loss of profit. Profit. My profit is how much rupees? 69,000 rupees. How? Very simple. Yeah? Now, this is the sales from the new plant. The sales from what? New plant. When I open the new plant having a 4,000 capacity, I look at independently. New plant, I have to sell 1,000 E, 1,125 is that for me to break even the new plant. Yes or no? But old plant is already operating at full capacity. Now what happens here? 3,000, 2,000. 5,000 is operating or not? In which average contribution is 23 rupees. I can earn how much here? 69,000 rupees. That means my profit is 69,000. The new plant only one breaks even at this particular sales level. Respond yes or no? Can I proceed to the next point or not? Now, next is, last question is, let's say 4,000 units new plant is there or not? They are asking you how you can use the 4,000 units. No need to follow what? Any product mix. Can I proceed or not? Now, step 2 or step 3 or part 3? Part 3. Production plan for the new plant. Production plan for the new plant. Can we start or not? No. Let's see. Always give the units to a high contribution. Yes or no? How many units capacity is there? 4,000 units. Okay. First branch. First I give it to what? E. How many units? 1,000 units. How much will be here? 25. To be having a clarity, this from what to what? 3,000 to 4,000. That is what gives me this 1,000 units. Yes or no? 1,000 units into 25. What is the contribution? 25,000. Innappa, right or not? Now, next. Another E. E and Z are now equal. Z also gives you what? 20. No? Another E. How many another E I can produce? 1,000 units. And how much will be here? 20. Tell me how I got this 1,000 units? 4,001 to 5,000 is a number is equal to how much here? 20,000. So 1,000 plus 1,000, 2,000 over. Respond yes or no? No. Any more E can be sold only for how much here? 15. Which I don't like it at present. Yes or no? Because I have Z for 20 rupees or not? Now, tell me. Next is what? Z. Next is Z. Tell me. How many Z can be sold? Already old plant 2,000 over. How many more left to reach 4,000? 2,000 units. 2,000 units. Into how much rupees here? 20. How I got 2,000 units? It is 2,000 to 4,000. Old plant has sold 2,000. New plant can sell what? Another 2,000. Same contribution 2,000, 4,000 into 20. Is it got how much rupees? 40,000. Now, is a 4,000 over or not? Yes. 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 2,000. This is going to be the 4,000 over. So, this is the best production mix. This is going to be what? The best production mix. Everybody following or not? No. Write down. Contribution is equal to. Continue writing. Are you following and writing or not? Contribution is equal to. Tell me the number. 25,000 plus 20,000 plus 40,000. The new plant is going to give me a contribution. Now, how much rupees here? 85,000. But the fixed cost is only how much rupees? 47,500. The new plant can give me a profit. Profit of the company, a new plant, can give me a profit of how much rupees? 37,500. 37,500. 37,500. Generally, exam question should be looked and answered fully. Okay, now are you following or not? Now, look at the question. They say, total contribution. What is total contribution? 85,000. Average contribution per unit. You have now what? Calculate. Third is what? Total profit has been what? Calculated. Now, only thing left out is what? Average contribution. Right now, next. Average contribution per unit is equal to, very simple. Average contribution per unit is equal to, average contribution per unit is equal to, what by what? 85,000 divided by how many units? 4,000 units. 85,000 divided by 4,000 units is a weighted average. Yes or no? 85,000 divided by 4,000 units. 85,000 divided by 4,000 units. I want a number or the average contribution. 21.25 per unit. 21.25 per unit. 85,000 by 4,000 gives you 21.25 per unit. 21.25 per unit. Everybody understand the solution to this particular question or not? Now, is an exam problem for 7 marks. How many marks here? 7 marks. Why we included is because there may be some confusion in reading the question. That's why it has been included. Nothing great has been discussed. Okay. Now, with this, I just put a comma to the concept called as break-even point. I did not put the full stop. I put only one comma. Because we'll revisit break-even point during indifference point, revisit during what? Specific fixed cost and so on. We'll come back to this concept again and again in the future areas. Everybody following out now? With this break-even point, issues have been completed. Please, shh. Stop talking. Now tell me, what is break-even point formula? What is break-even point formula? Break-even point is equal to fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Right or not? Last three classes we did problems where BEP is not equal to fixed cost by contribution. Yes or no? Any problem done till now, BEP is not equal to what? Fixed cost by contribution per unit. Enna right or not? First, we did two sums in the multiple break-even point where we first use a formula and then adjusted it. We just want to adjust it range by range. We calculated what break-even point at a multiple break-even point situation. Right or not? Next, that Kalyan University problem where the cost is predominantly variable but fixed in what? Small ranges. Once we use a formula, the formula comes in odd lots, means for the odd number you have to what? Adjust once again. That we seen in that particular second sum. Yes or no? Then we did marginal costing versus absorption costing, in which we saw that absorption costing break-even point is not equal to what? Fixed cost by contribution per unit, because when stock is given, it is fixed cost plus fixed cost inside net opening stock divided by contribution per unit, or fixed cost minus fixed cost inside net closing stock by contribution units for the break-even point, not simply fixed cost by contribution per unit. So no, when you have production given, then the formula is somewhat bigger. What is the formula here? Total fixed cost minus FMOH by UD into UP divided by selling price minus variable cost minus FMOH divided by UD. Respond yes or no. There also BEP is not equal to fixed cost by contribution per unit. This is an examination sum. In this problem also, fixed cost by weighted contribution per unit has been seen as the first lesson when you have a sales mix. Yes or not? In the second case, when I don't have a sales mix, I don't calculate break-even point using a formula. I just calculate using what? A procedure where I give the units to the high contribution and then what? Next high contribution and so on, and calculate the break-even point. Yes or no? The common feature is never in any of the sum we use what? Fixed cost by contribution per unit as a conclusive way of calculating the break-even point is the issue. The advantage of attending the class is we know that in these situations we cannot calculate break-even point straight away. We also learn how to calculate also what? Break-even point in these different situations. Can I proceed? Now, like that, the next issue we are going to discuss is called as what? Indifference point. Give the heading indifference point. Give the heading indifference point. Okay, please. Let us first understand what is this indifference point concept all about and discuss some very good advanced sums in the workbook regarding the indifference point area. Once again, a very, very interesting area similar to break-even point. Can I proceed or not? No. Stop talking. Shh. Okay, don't talk. There's a simple example to understand the concept. Okay, now, mobile phone, there are two schemes. What two schemes? Yeah, prepaid and then what? Postpaid. Stop talking. Adangya, listen to the concept. Which you like? Prepaid or postpaid? Okay, now stop. Those who like prepaid mobile scheme, raise your hand. Okay. Those who like postpaid scheme, raise your hand. Everything are raising your hand, yeah? Okay. Okay. Now, stop. When we discuss something, apart from that, stop there itself. Don't elaborate. Can I proceed, please? Okay. Some people like prepaid, some people like postpaid scheme. The question is, please. Someone will command it. Can I proceed now, please? Some people like prepaid, some people like what? Postpaid. Let's see what is the advantage of prepaid as well as what? Postpaid. Please. In prepaid scheme, there is no basic rent. There is no what? Basic rent. You pay only for the calls made. Everybody saw no. And there may be some small service charge. How much rupees? 100 rupees or something which has to be paid. Apart from that, you have to pay only when you speak. Is the advantage of what? Prepaid scheme. But the disadvantage is always the call cost is higher than what? Postpaid. If I pay 30 paise per call in postpaid, I have to pay how much? 50 paise per call in prepaid. But postpaid will be having a fixed rent of 500 irrespective of number of calls made. Here will be having only how much rupees? 100 rupees. They collect as a service charge or something. Response is or no. So now tell me, prepaid advantage is low fixed cost and postpaid advantage is what? Low variable cost. Up to this, are you following? Now, the question is, who likes prepaid? Who likes what? Postpaid. Person who is making a lot of calls will like what? Postpaid. Person who is always giving missed call will like what? Prepaid. Is or not? So, don't shout at me. I never give. Yeah, can I say no? Can I proceed? You will never go home unless I complete. Stay here. Can I proceed, please? So, prepaid is useful for those who make lesser number of calls, and postpaid for persons who are making what? So many calls. At high volumes, I will go for postpaid. At low volumes, I go for what? Prepaid. At some number of calls, both schemes will give the same bill amount. Yes or no? That is what we call as what? Indifference point. We call as what? Indifference point. At some number of calls, both will give you what? Same bill amount. It is called as the indifference point. Can I proceed or not? No. Let me assume that number of calls should be X. How many calls here? X calls. Okay. Tell me, what is a prepaid bill? Every call 50 paise. For X calls, what the bill here? 0.5X plus a fixed rent of 100. For the postpaid bill, every call 30 paise. For X call, 0.3X plus a fixed cost of 500. I can call the X as indifference point only when the two bill amount are what? Same. I should equal it. Enough response. Yes or no? Please. Shh. Please stop. Can I proceed now? Let us rearrange it. 0.5x minus 0.3x is equal to 500 minus 100. Right or not? Please. Take x outside. X into what? 0.5 minus 0.3 is equal to 500 minus 100. X is equal to what? 500 minus 100 divided by 0.5 minus 0.3. How many calls here? 2000 calls. Please. When I make 2000 calls, the prepaid bill is 2000 into 0.5 thousand. What is the speaking call amount? But fixed how much? 100. My bill is 1100. Yes or no? When I go for postpaid, 2000 into 0.3 is 600 is what? The speaking charges plus a base and how much base? 500 gives you what? Same 1100. Respond yes or no. So this 2000 call gives me the same cost in both the schemes or not. This we call as what point? Indifference point. Innappa right or not? Now. Very simple. X is called as what? Indifference point. 500 minus 100 is difference in fixed cost. 0.5 minus 0.3 is what? Difference in variable cost per unit. So we can say the formula for indifference point is indifference point is equal to what? Difference in fixed cost divided by what? Difference in variable cost per unit can be called as an indifference point. Lesson number 1. Are you following or not? Now tell me, indifference point is equal to what? Difference in fixed cost divided by difference in variable cost per unit gives you what? The indifference point. This point is or no? No. See. When the selling price is same, when the selling price is what? Same, generally think when selling price is same, the difference in variable cost is also difference in contribution. Correct? No. Suppose selling price is 1 rupee, 1 minus 0.5, what the contribution? 0.5. 1 minus 0.3, what the say contribution? 0.7. 0.5 and 0.1, what the difference here? 0.2. Don't think plus minus and all. I'm simply using the word what? Difference. So when the selling price is constant, the variable cost difference only will be what? The contribution difference also. Respond yes or no. Now, can I put the formula like this? Indifference point is equal to difference in fixed cost divided by what? Difference in contribution per unit also will give you what? Indifference point discussion. So, this is the formula for calculating the indifference point. Now, let me just formalize it, give you the notes in this regard first. Okay. Now, first of all, for discussing about the concept of indifference point, I should have two options. Indifference point comes only when I have how many options here? Two options. One option should have a low fixed cost. Another option should be having what? Low variable cost. One option advantage is its fixed cost. Another advantage is what? Variable cost. Normally, when the volume is low, when the volume is what? Low, everybody will be liking the low fixed cost option. When the volume is high, people will like what? Low variable cost option. At some volume, they will like what? Both options equally good. That volume equals what? Indifference point. Response is or no. So indifference point is a cost, profit, volume, volume. The hero in this chapter is always what? Break-even point also discuss about what? Volume. Indifference point also is going to discuss about what? Volume. The entire chapter is understand volume in relation to what? Cost and profit. Everybody yes or no? No. So indifference point is a volume. At that volume, I'll be indifferent between what? Two options. A low variable cost and a low fixed cost option. Yes or no? Then indifference point volume can be expressed in units first. What the formula for indifference point in units? Tell me. Indifference point in units is equal to what the formula? Don't say change. Write as what? Difference in fixed cost divided by difference in variable cost per unit, or difference in fixed cost divided by difference in contribution per unit gives you indifference point in what? Units. Enna by yes or no? Now, the denominator will be same because the selling price is same. The difference between variable cost is equal to what? The difference between the contribution also. Response yes or no? Now, any volume can be expressed in units as well as in what? Rupees. Break-even point is in units as well as in what? Rupees. Marginal safety in units as well as in what? Rupees. Like that, this is also a sales volume only, can be in units as well as what? Rupees. Now, tell me, what is break-even point in units? Fixed cost by contribution per unit. What is break-even point in rupees? Fixed cost by PV ratio. What is marginal safety in units? Profit by contribution per unit. What margin in rupees? Profit by PV ratio. If I divide by per unit, I get in what? Units. Divided by ratio, I get in what? Rupees. Yes or no? Now, tell me how to find out indifference point in rupees. Tell me the formula here. Difference in fixed cost divided by difference in PV ratio, or difference in fixed cost divided by difference in variable cost ratio. Variable cost ratio is variable cost by sales. PV ratio is what? Contribution by sales. What sales is same, the difference in variable cost ratio is also same as what? Difference in PV ratio is the formula for indifference point in what? Rupees. Everybody will understand the concept of indifference point or not? With this, the basic introduction has been completed. Let's have our notes in this regard. We'll do the problem in the next class. With the heading indifference point. Please. Solidly 15 minutes left. Don't ask me to leave earlier. Indifference points. Point number 1. Another 10 minutes, ma. Okay. Can I proceed? Now, see, I request all of you to wear some sweater, etc. Come to the class. Now, I am doing again. Can I proceed? Last 10 minutes, don't ask me to change the AC. Can I proceed? Now, first, point number 1. Stop talking. Point number 1. Concept of indifference point will arise. Point number 1, concept of indifference point will arise. Concept of indifference point will arise when we have concept of indifference point will arise when we have two options. Concept of indifference point will arise when we have two options. Branch it into two. When we have two options, branch it into two. Option 1, option 2. Branch it into two. Option 1, option 2. Option 1, put the down here mark and write low fixed cost. Option 1, write low fixed cost and high variable cost per unit. Option 1, low fixed cost and high variable cost per unit. Option 2, put the down mark and write, what is it here? Low variable cost per unit. Always write the advantage and write the disadvantage. Low variable cost per unit, and then what? High fixed cost. Low variable cost per unit and high fixed cost. And high fixed cost. Point number 1 or 2? 2. When the volume is high, it is better to go for low variable cost option. when volume is high, it is better to go for low variable cost option. When I sell more units, I am not worried about fixed cost. I am worried about what? Variable cost. It is better to go for low variable cost option, and at low volumes, low fixed cost option, and at low volumes, low fixed cost option, and at low volumes, low fixed cost option. Point number 2 or 3 or 3. At some volume, both options will give. At some volume, both options will give same profit. At some volume, both options will give same profit or have same cost. At some volume, both options will give same profit or have same cost, which is called what? Indifference point. Which is called indifference point. Which is called indifference point. Point number 4. This indifference point volume can be expressed in 2 ways. This indifference point volume can be expressed in 2 ways. This indifference point volume can be expressed in 2 ways. Can be expressed in 2 ways. Branch it into 2. What are 2 ways of expressing it here? In units. First branch in units. Second branch in value. In units, in value. In units, branch it into 2. In units, branch it into 2. Both will give the same answer. Branch it into 2. First branch, difference in fixed cost divided by difference in variable cost per unit. Difference in fixed cost divided by difference in variable cost per unit, or second branch, or right in second branch, difference in fixed cost divided by difference in contribution per unit, or difference in fixed cost divided by difference in contribution per unit. Go to second, indifference point in value, branch it into 2. Indifference point in value, branch it into 2. First branch, difference in fixed cost divided by difference in variable cost ratio. First branch, difference in fixed cost divided by difference in variable cost ratio. Right, VCR for variable cost ratio, difference in variable cost ratio. Or the second branch is difference in fixed cost divided by difference in PV ratio. Difference in fixed cost divided by difference in PV ratio. Difference in PV ratio. Okay. This is an introduction to the concept called as indifference point. Next class, 2 small sums, basics I will be doing, and I'll start doing some advanced problems. Okay. Tuesday, next costing class. Tomorrow, 10 to 2, we will be having the SFM class.